Watch Who?
Hello.
And welcome to To Watch Who, a Doctor Who podcast. I'm Mark.
I'm Sarah.
And I'm a Doctor Who fan.
And I'm new to watching Who.
Watching for the very first time.
Very first time. That sums up my cold, I think.
So how are you this week?
Well, listeners, I had a cold a few weeks ago. As you know, it's been going on. And I was coming to the end of it. And I was over at someone's house who was just starting with the cold, who we thought had caught the cold from me, to be fair. So I was like, nah, that's fine. No, this must have been a new cold because I have a cold again. It's like just being back at square one. I've got a blocked nose. I've got a cough. I'm on the Lemsips constantly. I'm tired. I feel rough.
And you've had to watch Revenge of the Cybermen.
And I've had to watch Revenge of the Cybermen. This has just been a nightmare for us to sort out. This is like attempt 3.
Technical issues as well. So.
I can't remember anything about it anymore.
Okay. Well, this will be it would have been a struggle anyway, but now with all this extra stuff.
It's been I'd watched it and we were going to record and then we had technical things. We literally had to abandon it. I was like, I'll have to get my whole computer fixed, I think. And then I did. And then we just tried again a few days later. It still wasn't working. When I'm on Zoom doing it, and I think we've figured it out. Well, hopefully. I'm so dosed up on Lemsip and I cannot breathe out my nose.
Oh, no. Well, my blood sugar was 19 about 15 minutes ago.
What is going on? What season are we in?
12.
I feel like season 11 and 12 have been like the sick episodes. Because I COVID in 11 and stuff. And then I've pretty much been ill the whole time of this season.
Yeah, you have actually.
I thought it was going to be better. It was supposed to be better.
Okay, well, let's start going through and we'll see what we can remember.
FML.
Right, well, we're back on Nerva Beacon.
Yay.
That's where we are. That's the centre. We're on the medical bay of Nerva Beacon. I'm visiting you.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's where we are because, well, actually, no, that's very apt because there's a plague going round and everybody's ill.
Yeah. They've come back and everyone's ill. Yeah.
So unfortunately, you've caught the plague, everyone. Yeah.
Story of my life.
I'm playing with them Cybermats.
How have you... Sorry, just we haven't talked about COVID for a bit. How have you still not got COVID, Mark?
Well, I haven't really been out.
It's not fair. I've had COVID and 2 colds. You're happy as Larry over there.
Anyway, well, I'll start and talk about Revenge of the Cybermen, give you a little bit of a rest while you have your little sip. So Revenge of the Cybermen, yeah, not an amazing story. I'm not expecting you to say you're going to love this. This was the very first story that came out on video in the 80s, and then it got re-released again in the 90s. I never had it, though. I didn't get it until it got re-released again towards the end in 2000s.
On video or DVD?
On video.
Ooh.
And I have a very vivid memory of watching this. It's like a Sunday morning. I watched 2 episodes. And I remember this because after I watched those 2 episodes, I had to go out flyering for my school farm. Right? So we had this, long story short, we had a little farm unit on our school, like cows and chickens and stuff. And they wanted to do a fundraising thing. And this is back in the day before, internet was early days. So the idea was everyone who worked on the farm was given a map of where they lived. So we had one of the village, and we were given flyers to go around, post them all in our local area, a radius, and then you'd come back a week later and ask for money. Sort of Christian Aid where they put the thing. It was that kind of fundraising thing, and I remember
a classic.
I had to go with Tracy, who lived over the road near me, who also went on the farm, Tracy. And yeah, I remember watching these 2 episodes and then going and thinking, I've got to go flying. And we just went around flying. We were I don't know, 14, 15. I don't think you'd send kids out doing that nowadays.
No.
Because then, the week later, we were expected to go and knock on everybody's doors and ask for the money.
But that's what you used to do.
And then Tracy's mum said she wasn't allowed to, so I had to go on my own and knock on the door.
I don't blame Tracy's mum. I don't blame Tracy's mum. Tracy's mum must have known something.
Well, also, I'm going to dedicate Revenge of the Cybermen to Tracy because I'll just get this story out of the way before we start.
Oh, God, here we go.
It's just always mixed up. But not long after that, after I finished watching Revenge of the Cybermen, Tracy, she was in my class at school and she started talking to this guy on MSN chat,
oh,
right?
God.
She was like, I know, maybe it was a few months later, sort of like 16-ish. I remember her talking about it in drama class and all this stuff. And then she came and she did a shift at the co-op with me. She got a job at the co-op.
Yeah.
And she did a Friday night shift. And then that was her first shift. I trained her on the till.
Of course.
And then, because she lived near me, we always used to walk home from school together. She was like opposite me. And she was supposed to work on the Saturday morning at 8 o'clock the next day. So we're walking home on this Friday night. And I was like, I'll see you tomorrow. And she's like, no, you won't. I'm like,
oh,
what?
my God.
She's like, I'm running away to Leeds.
Oh, my God.
This guy that I've met on MSN.
Oh, my God.
Right. And I was like, okay. See ya.
Oh, no.
And she was like, okay, I'll see you in a couple of years.
In a couple of years. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
So she ran away. And so I was like, oh, I don't know. It's always... I got Revenge of the Cybermen video sort of around all this time. So that's why it reminds me. So I looked up when it was, and it was actually 2002 because I've got an email, right? So Tracy ran away, but she was sensible, okay? It was okay. She ran up to Leeds. She checked herself into the nearest police station and said, I'm here, I'm safe. Don't tell anyone, like my family, where I am. I'm staying with this guy. Right, hang on, you've got a shocked face. So then I was looking up on my old emails. I've got an email from Tracy's mum, right, which I'm going to read. She sent it out to everyone. She says, hi, I don't know who you are, but I'm Tracy's mother. Tracy has run away from home with Paul. I believe she's in Leeds. She has reported to a police station there. She will not give an address of where she can be found. I'm desperate, and a friend gave me her password to MSN, which I now have your email address from. Please, can you help me find my daughter? I'm desperate. This is my last hope of finding my daughter. Please help me.
I mean, I don't blame Tracy's mum. I do not blame Tracy's mum.
Okay, but also, can I just say, she came in a few years later to the co-op with her mum. Everything was fine. She's still with this guy. She's got a couple of kids.
Okay.
She's very happy. It all worked out fine. Okay. Well, what was I like?
Oh my gosh, poor Tracy's mum though. What a trauma.
But I did email her back and said, I know she's gone up to Leeds and his family's all right with it and she's safe and everything. So, yeah, there we go. Dedicated to Tracy this episode. It's all worked out and she was fine and she was sensible.
Any 16-year-olds listening to this, so that's not always the case. Stranger danger, okay? Stranger danger.
I know it was, yeah, when you think about it back then. But we were all the same age back then, so it's.
But we don't know that, Mark. You do not know that. You do not know that.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, there
Stranger
we go.
danger, okay? Just remember that.
Stranger danger. I can't link that into Revenge of the Cybermen particularly, but there we are.
Oh my God. I mean, wow.
So that's the memory that comes up for this particular episode. Right, so Revenge of the Cybermen, yeah, not the best, really. We're back on Nerva. How do you feel about being back on Nerva?
It kind of feels a little bit like it's not the same, but you know when they were just stuck on Earth and everything was happening the same, we're just sort of roaming around a little bit.
So they had the time ring from Genesis of the Daleks because the TARDIS has been left on Nerva Beacon, so they've got to go back. But we are thousands of years actually in the past. I think I messaged you and said it was the future, but sorry, it's the past. So Vira and Noah and all that are not here yet. It hasn't been used as that cryogenic thing. It's like a military-based type thing at the moment. So they've kept the same set. They've just sort of painted it grey instead of white. And we go straight into this plague. Everybody's dead.
Great start.
I mean,
so everything sounds really, with this cold, everything's just going to sound worse. I'm sorry, everyone. Also, this was not great. This is just going to be a struggle. I'm really glad that we've had that story about Tracy. It was Tracy. Oh my gosh, my memory. It was Tracy, wasn't it? You just said her name.
It was Tracy, yeah. So I mean, yeah, it's grey. Everyone's in beige.
The
Okay,
music.
yeah, the music is
Ah,
awful.
the music is awful. The music, like, blah, 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 blah. Nothing annoyed me more than the music, actually. I was like, who chose this music?
It's not the usual composer. I don't think. I think they're trying something different, and it doesn't work. It
It
doesn't
doesn't
make
work
it.
in any way.
I don't know. It sort of lacks excitement. I mean,
It
yeah,
lacks
it's that.
anything. It's terrible. It
Well,
doesn't
we meet.
fit in any way. Like there'll be a scene and be some sort of drama, and it's like blah 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 blah. What is this music? There's no tension. There's no suspense. There's no intrigue. It's just like some weird, sad, depressing plot along.
I do like them coming back to Nerva Beacon, and actually, I think Sarah mentions when they come back. Oh, we've been away for about a couple of weeks. So, Ark in Space, Sontaran Experiment, Genesis of the Daleks, and now here. That's been about 2 weeks, and they're all in the same clothes. Can I just say? Well, Harry is at least.
Yeah,
I
Sarah did get changed. She's in her cargo outfit, isn't she? So
Yeah, I mean, so poor old Harry going around in the same suit for 2 weeks on all these adventures. like, so we meet a couple of our characters. So I've got Kelman is a bit of a villain. Now, I never really liked him. He's the one that looks like me when I'm older.
true, so true.
Actually, looks a bit like me now. I'm sunburned a bit. He does look a bit like me.
Blonde hair, that's all you need.
Oh, so yeah,
Hey,
I never
fancy
really
dress, we know you're going as.
Yeah, I could be Kelman, but no, I just don't like him.
He's
But
a
no,
funny one
that's
though,
fine.
because he's a villain, but even as when he isn't the villain, you don't know if he's good. Like, I never believe him as being because they sort of paint him as a bad guy. He's all in like he's in black clothing to sort of indicate that he's different. And then it turns out that actually he's been trying to help and stuff.
Well, I'm not sure if he has. No, I don't think he's been working with the Cybermen, hasn't he?
So I thought that as well, but I don't think it is. Well, maybe we're wrong. I understood it as like they thought that he was working with what's this other race again?
Vogons.
Vogons. I think they thought he was working with the Cybermen because the rocket was coming all that, but actually he was working with the Vogons. And that's why he wanted to go and talk to that leader and stuff. It was like, and there's the two Vogons. Then it gets confusing because then there's two sets of Vogons that are also in argument with each other, aren't they? There's one that's like, no, we need to be underground. We need to be quiet, the old one. And then there's this newer one that's like, no, why are we hiding underground? And this guy's been working with that one about trying to get them out in the world and like.
I mean, I couldn't tell you if that was right or not, but it sounds right.
But that's how it's not very clear because it's so boring. But that's how I sort of understood it. I understood it as like, you think that he's working with the Cybermen and sending, but actually he's not. He's working with the Vogons and he's working with the Rebellion Vogons, not the older ones. And yeah, because he goes down, he's like, we need to talk. And he's like, no, they're coming early. And he says, well, he comes down, he's like, trying to help them along, but he's on their side, the rebellion ones, not the ones that have been living longer and are like, no, we need to send around, we're safer and stuff.
I'm not sure why the Nerva Beacon is there where the planet is in the first place, or they just come across the planet, because it's a planet of gold, and this is where we find out, it's never been mentioned before, that Cybermen are allergic to gold. This is a new concept.
Yeah, and the Doctor says it like he's always known it, and it's always been the case. This has never come up before.
Yeah, all those times they could have just got some gold.
Yeah. Or like, he said it in like such a like blasé, yeah, well, they're, perfect. Yeah, very odd.
So what do you think of the Vogons?
The old one was, bless him, he was having issues with his costume.
Well, there's quite a few different old ones. There's an old, like the Grand High Old One.
Him.
Is played by our favourite, Mavic Chen.
Really? I think he was having trouble with the mouth because he was the hardest to distinguish. The other ones, their mouths moved more. You could hear what they were saying. He was a little bit, and I don't know whether it's just because like he had more like maybe more facial stuff to make him appear older and stuff, but he was struggling more.
Another one was played by this guy who played Davros last week as well.
Ah,
but no, their masks aren't the best. They're not
the worst. We've had worse. They do move.
I don't. It just adds to all of the beige. You know, I know it's supposed to be sort of like gold and everything's gold, but it seemed just more beige, and more rock, and more just. It wasn't that visually interesting, even though they really tried. You know, it's a planet of gold. They could have gone proper all out.
Yeah,
but it was more just like mud.
Yeah, I agree with you there. And it was really hard. Like I said, like there was the two sort of like the rebellion ones, and I'm saying it like that, but they were really hard to distinguish who was what. And I guess that's kind of on purpose, so they don't have to like double up on actors and things like that.
But you're not really interested in them standing there arguing for a long time.
There's a lot of that, and they're getting captured by different people. And I was like, I don't know whose side is like, what side's what here.
Yeah, so I wasn't really interested in that. I didn't really follow it. There's a lot of location stuff in the caves. That looks
yeah.
That's Wookiee Hole.
Where's what?
That's Wookiee Hole in I think it's near like Somerset or somewhere like that. It's quite a famous place.
It's a famous hole.
Yeah, you can visit it now. It's probably exactly the same. Yeah, but I don't like they're down there, but they've on these. But then the costumes aren't interesting, and they've just got these standard guns, which are just like bullety guns. They're not like spacey or anything interesting.
No, the best bit was the Cybermen's bullet guns in their heads, which I think were new.
Yeah, but I didn't really like. I thought that was a bit of a silly.
I quite like that. I was like, that's new.
But then I don't like these Cybermen particularly well because their voice isn't particularly interesting.
No, this was hard.
Okay, well I'll carry on going through my notes.
Okay,
you can comment as things happen. So Harry gets to do some medical stuff. He's helping out with a plague.
Yeah, that was good. And he goes and saves Sarah.
And Sarah catches up. There's like a video thing. She gets engrossed. She catches up with the news because obviously, being a journalist, she wants to see what's going on.
She's a journalist.
And then you see a Cybermat.
Yeah, now then. I didn't know it was a Cybermat. I thought it was a cyber snake.
They've changed the design, probably not for the better.
No, because I love the Cybermats. I did not enjoy these ones.
I think these are supposed to, those little like bug things you get, them silver bugs you get in your carpet or whatever sometimes.
What?
They're a bit like that. They're like silverfish insects. You don't really see them around.
Oh, those. Yeah. But like massive.
I feel like you used to see them a lot, but I don't really see them.
No, I know what you mean.
That much. They're sort of like that.
You said it in such like, the ones you made it just sound so every day. No, that's not the place you get any carpet. What? I don't. But I know what you mean now. Yes.
But they just don't. And in the 60s, they had a really cool design that works. Now, you're 10 years later, and it's like actually you've just got worse.
What worked about the Cybermats before is that they were small and compact. It made sense that they hadn't seen these things. That thing is massive. How have they missed people being attacked by that?
And poor old Sarah, when she's getting attacked by it, she's got to pretend, and you've got to have this huge plastic thing on you.
Yeah.
She does that well, though. She sells it. And then, obviously, the pressure is on now because Sarah's been attacked by it. She's got the plague. So the way that the Doctor gets rid of it is to transmit her down. Harry takes her down to get the stuff out of her, and then that solves the problem. So then Sarah and Harry are split up quite a lot, and they go off and have their sort of Vogon adventure. I love the little Vogon train that they get put on, the little cave train.
Yeah, there's lots of cute things like that. I like their excitement over the gold, and him talking about retiring or becoming a doctor somewhere, wasn't it?
Actually, the Vogons remind me a little bit of the way they're designed. I don't know. Like the Roswell aliens. Do you remember them? The real. There's that footage from Roswell.
Yeah.
I don't know. They sort of have that kind of face.
Okay.
Anyway, made me think.
They kind of remind me of Sensorites a bit.
Yeah, in the kind of mask. But then I like when Sarah and Harry are, they're the ones that go and see them and talk to them and explain and do all of that stuff while the Doctor's off doing his own thing on the beacon. I think that gives Sarah and Harry a bit more to do in this, at least.
Yes, absolutely.
How do you do? I'm Harry Sullivan, and this is
Sarah Jane Smith.
What's your mission here?
Mission? We don't have any mission. We just sort of came here by accident, didn't we, Harry?
Yes, that's right. It's nothing to do with us, really.
Explain.
And for their relationship, I like the way that they talk to each other and help each other out.
I do like their banter. It's good.
There's a bit of action. The Cybermen don't seem that threatening.
No, they don't. I mean, they've stuck some bombs onto people and they're basically on a ship. Yeah. And then they've sent them down. It was really hard to follow as well. There was a lot of different storylines going on at the same time because you've got like the internal politics. Like you say, they were being captured by different people, Harry and Sarah, so you're following that and they're almost having to repeat, right, this is what, and then the politics upstairs with the Cybermen and also the spacemen and them coming to, and then you've got this guy, what side is he on? He's like, there's a lot of different sides and politics. It was really hard to follow. It was really boring and didn't add anything.
And the people on the ship, like the commander and the other guy, they weren't interesting characters. They didn't stand out. They're not memorable to me. I did like when the Doctor and them, they had to go down with the bombs on and they're going down there and they're slipping in the mud and I was like, oh no.
Yeah. But even then, because they got down, and I like that. I was like, well, they'll obviously discuss what we're going to do with the bombs. I honestly can't remember what they did with the bombs.
I think there's rock fall and they fall down and they've got the thing strapped to them and and then Harry's like, oh, I'm going to help you, and he goes to unlock it and he doesn't know it's a bomb, and that's a cliffhanger. That was I
got that.
I like that.
They then blow up, don't they?
I think they blow up at some point.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I miss all that. So, it didn't work as well. Do you remember when last week the Doctor stood on a landmine and you felt that pressure? If you're going to stick bombs on people and you're going to try and get them off without them exploding, I want to feel some sort of pressure. And I like the Doctor sort of joking around with Harry, like, you idiot or something, and having a laugh about it. And it got me thinking about how previous Doctors would have been like shouting about it, like, you idiot, or something. Last Doctor would have probably been like, he used to do with the women and just like belittle them and other characters. He probably would have done that. But whereas this Doctor sort of does but laughs about it, he's sort of like, yeah. And I liked that. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, he's still great as the Doctor, even in it is a bad script at the end of the day.
It really is.
Considering we've had such a good, run of stories recently with some good ideas and concepts, it doesn't have like a good, strong concept behind it, apart from people are fighting over a planet of gold.
Yeah, or but there's too much going on because they're fighting over a planet of gold. They're fighting they're fighting to destroy a planet of gold, and they're fighting to whether they should be out of their universe, and if they're out, people will know about the planet of gold.
So the Cybermen just want the planet of gold out of the way in case it's a threat to them.
Yeah.
It's not strong enough.
It's not strong enough.
Also, this was written by the guy that invented the Cybermen as well. And and we've been waiting for the Cybermen to come back for so long, and they come back with this. And for the first story to be brought out on video, why choose this one? I mean, it's not.
Yeah. I think I would have preferred it. And there might have been a reason but if it had been that the Cybermen were after the gold, do you know what I mean? Because basically they've been dormant for years waiting. And this is the first time that we're not allergic, but if it had been, imagine that's not the case. Imagine that they want the gold because then, I don't know, it'll make them stronger. They're metal. I don't know. So, it makes the quarrel that's happening on the planet of gold a little bit more justified in that the people underground are like, if we keep quiet, no one knows about us, we survive. And the other rebellious ones are like, no, we want to have lives and live. And they're like, if people know we're a planet of gold, we'll be attacked. That was his whole argument. His argument was like, if people know about us and we exist, then we will be attacked constantly for our gold. And the other guy's like, but we deserve to live. We deserve to have lives. It would have been interesting if then they're starting to get attacked by the Cybermen for the gold and they can experience what that's like. And it might have made them influence their choices. It might, but I don't know. And then they're like, no, we want to destroy the gold. And then, I don't know. There was just like a lot going on. Going on.
At least it was only 4.
Yes. Thank God. And I really struggled with this. Like, I think I did it over 4 sittings, actually. Normally I do 1 and 2 together and then 3 and 4, and depending how bad it is. But I literally had to split this into 4. This was tough.
It was. There were, a couple of good bits with the filming and everything. Sarah going onto the boat. Do you see her do that in the little escape boat thing?
Yeah. And there were some really nice moments. There were some really nice moments between Harry and Sarah. There were some nice moments with the Doctor, but the story was really weak.
Well, when she filmed that bit with the boat going on, the stuntman had to jump in and rescue her because she was going toward that. The way it was like this boat, the way that the water go, it sort of fell down into like a thing, and she was heading towards it, and the stunt guy had to come and like rescue her. I think they had a few problems filming down there, like someone broke their leg or whatever. Like so, and do you know what? I haven't told you. So that boat thing reminded me. So yesterday it was a really nice sunny day. I've got burnt.
Yeah, classic Mark.
Walking down by the beach. I don't know why, but decided to get a kayak out to sea into the sea.
This is why you're burnt.
This is why I'm burnt. So I've got this thing out. Like, I've never really done that before, and I had a little life jacket on, and it's like a canoe thing.
Yeah, you got to do both sides.
Like, it's not like a pedal thing. It's like a you've
got your stick, haven't you? To like
like they had in Revenge of the Cybermen. And I was going out, and I went out, and I was thinking, do you know what? I haven't really swum for 20. I don't know if I can swim, and I'm going really far out to sea. So I had a bit of a panic, and the waves were getting quite big.
Oh my God! Well, you have your life jacket on.
I know, but then I was thinking, what if I fall in? I'll lose my glasses in the sea. So I didn't go too far out. Like, I didn't really go too far out at all, but it felt very deep, and it felt like very dangerous. It probably wasn't. That's probably partly why I'm burnt.
You have the bloody sea reflecting on your face, so you won't wear sun cream. Because you're ginger, but you're in denial about the fact that you need sun cream.
But it was very Revenge of the Cybermen dangerous going out on there. I felt a bit seasick as well after a bit.
Of course you did.
Well, but it's a shame, and it is the last story of the season.
No, gosh, I didn't know that.
So it's left with. I mean, we've skipped right to the end, really. I mean, the only other thing is it gets even worse towards the end where that rocket's coming down. I don't know. You saw with the standard effects. I had new special effects on the Blu-ray, but it's that it's someone. When the
rocket looks
heading
awful.
towards the planet, and it's just someone with like a barrel rolling it around, making it look like. I mean, it's not even
right.
like the conclusion. It's not that exciting. I liked Harry talking to the Vogons at the helping out and stuff, but apart from that, they get in, and then the Doctor's got a summon from the Brigadier, and they get the TARDIS back finally. And
and off they go. It's not. I didn't realise
cool.
That was the last of the season. That is not a great ending.
And it's not a good return for the Cybermen. It's not. We've had Cybermen stories have been quite good that we've had.
Yeah, maybe it's because they're few and far between as well.
Well, you'd think after all these years, first time Cybermen in colour, they're going to do something.
Yeah.
It's like 4 Cybermen and they're not. They just feel like somebody's walking around in a wobbly helmet.
Yeah, they're not great. There's just no threat. You just don't feel the threat of them.
That's what it is, isn't it? It's not. In the whole time, it was more boredom than threat throughout the whole thing.
Yeah,
and it's not like anyone's acting really bad or anything. There's just nothing there for them to you do, or they're fighting through these Vogon masks, or the Doctor, Sarah, and Harry come out the best in this.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Oh, that's a disappointment. Even I haven't got anything else to say about this story.
It is what it
You're
is.
just like, nope.
It is what it is sometimes.
But actually, it's the fourth Doctor story that hasn't been great. I mean, I know it's only the first series, but
No, that's we have those. You can't have it be a winner every week.
no, I mean, it's not a very good one to dedicate to Tracy anyway, really. But there you go. She won't know. Yeah, it'll be the Doskers next then.
I can't believe it. I can't believe we're already at the Doskers. Bloody hell.
Yeah, so we'll have to confer and work out our winners. So we'll probably have a week off and then be back for the Doskers after this. Anything you want to happen in the next season? Are you anything you're looking forward to, or
not having a cold? But other than that,
okay.
No,
More Harry?
I mean, I really like this Doctor. It's working out well, so I'm looking forward to that continuing.
Well, I'll tell you the next title of the next story.
Okay.
It's called Terror of the Zygons.
Terror of the Zygons. Okay. We'll be doing the Doskers before that, but yeah, cool.
Yeah, we'll do the Doskers and then we'll go on to Terror of the Zygons straight into season 13. So, yeah, a bit of a dampener for the end of the season, but hopefully it will pick up again next season and we'll be a bit more enthusiastic. Okay, well, we'll see you in a couple of weeks. And in the meantime, you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at 2WatchWho, and you can support us at buymeacoffee.com/2watchwho. And yeah, listen out for the Doskers very soon.
Thank you to all our supporters, as ever.
Thanks for our supporters. And yes, and the Doskers is going to be our 100th episode. So there'll be some special things happening in that episode. So
yay.
We will see you then.
Bye.
Bye.
2 Watch Who.